Did you guys miss me? Because I definitely really missed you all. Hi guys, it's Magali. Welcome back to my channel. Happy 2026. It's been such a long time since I sat and filmed long form video, Last year, 2025, I did a January favorites. Like back in the day, I would do these like every single month. And I used to have a lot of fun doing it. But now we've moved as a society more towards like short form content. And I've been active, okay, with my short form content. It's not like I disappeared. But this has been missing, and I've been missing it also. So I did a January favorites last year, and I told you guys, if you're into this format still, if you enjoy it, I will continue doing it. And you guys were into it. The video did quite well. I didn't do another favorites for the entire year. I thought about it every single month. At the end of October, I sat and filmed a favorites video, but then I didn't edit it and too much time had passed. So here's a little glimpse of some of my favorites this month. We have some beauty stuff. We have a little something here that I'm nervous to talk about, but like I want to talk about it, so I put it in here. We'll talk about it later. It's gonna be a fun one. But before that, I feel like I owe you just life updates. I don't know. Some of y'all will be like, this is why we stopped watching Magali, because she would not shut up. And you know what? I get that. Sometimes I also am like, shut up, Magali, you are talking too much, you're thinking too much. But I can't help it. This is just who I am. This is your reminder that I put timestamps on every single video. So if you don't want my yappy section and you want to go to the favorites, you can do exactly that. I also put a lot of information in the description bar of whatever I'm like wearing on my face, like the products I'm going to share with you all, similar things. Like there are just a lot of links there. So just go check it out. I even did get ready with me while I was getting ready today in short form. So, go check that out. If you feel the urge to ask me what's on your nails, what's on your lips, just check the description first, because that's easier. And if you still want to ask me, feel free, because I love talking to you all. Where do I even start telling you guys about all of the months that have passed? But anyway, I'm going to clip this mic now. It won't sound as good, but I'll get my hand back. You guys see Small is snoozing over there, so cute. So let's talk life updates. 2025, I feel like my work really took a backseat because I'd been working really hard 2023, 2024. But 2025 was a fantastic year for me, personal development wise. I did work on myself a lot. And as these things usually go, it started with like the mother of all crash outs. I did go through like a little tough time. Then I realized that I felt like I was at rock bottom emotionally, but rock bottom is also a great place to build from. It's a great place to restart from. So I started working on things like my diet and a few other areas of my life that I had neglected for a really long time. Also in 2024, I got officially assessed for ADHD, which is something I knew that I had for a while, but I went through like the proper, clinical psychologist, psychiatrist, all of that, like the proper channels to get an assessment. And so now I have like a certificate that's like, yes, this bitch has ADHD. And that can be oddly validating. I also tried medication, stimulants for ADHD, and I was convinced that the medication was going to be a silver bullet that will fix my entire life. Spoiler alert, that did not happen. Also, I don't want to be an anti-medication person, because I know a lot of friends who have ADHD who got on the medication and they say the medication did really help them. But for me, while it fixed some areas of my life, it also created some new problems. And then I was going to have to get on more medications to fix those problems. That was just really complicated. So then after trying medication for a year, like from 2024 to 2025, finally last year I was like, no, this isn't really working for me. I need to raw dog life, but I also need to put better systems in place to raw dog life. So I started trying to fix my diet. I'm underweight, so I started trying to eat better. I started going on really long walks, and Goa is a beautiful place to have long walks. So I started doing that in like the summer and the start of monsoon. And then September came around and I became a runner, which was the biggest plot twist of the year. For me, like running is one of my major hyperfixations now, which you know if you follow me on Instagram. I'm at Living with Magali. I had another old Instagram account that many of you all will know about, but I don't use it anymore. I moved to Living with Magali, so I post about running a lot there. It's been so great for my mental health, and then like the fitness benefits that come with it are just like secondary and wonderful bonuses. So I started running on the 1st of September. Actually, it started with in July. I signed up with my friends for a race, a 5-kilometer. Signing up for a 5K is a great way to like have that initial push to start running. So I started running, and by the time it was closer to the race, we actually all decided to switch to 10K, double the distance. And I ran a 10K and I got my medal. It was lovely. I think that's it for like the 2025 updates. Coming to 2026, quick word about January. I'm going to keep it very brief. It really was fuck-ass month, so bad. Started out really good. First couple of weeks were really great. And then I just kept getting bad news upon bad news upon bad news upon bad news. Fired so high. It was just terrible. One of my favorite older uncles passed away. So I did go to Mumbai for a quick condolence visit. And then in quick succession, in like less than 2 weeks, 3 more people I know passed away. I heard that I was not the only one, because even other people were saying that like suddenly people are dying in January, and I don't know why that was the vibe. I think that's why I'm so excited. Today is the 1st of Feb. I'm so done with January. So for me, this is my new year. Also on the 16th of this month, I think it's going to be the Lunar New Year. So I'm really clinging on to that, because like I'm not a superstitious person, but when a lot of bad things happen suddenly, it's like you turn to whatever forces you look towards. I'm definitely not religious. I'm atheist, but I'm like, is this the stars? Is Mercury in the microwave again? Is this like the snake energy, like the year of the snake wrapping up and like snake shedding skin? I don't know what this is. I don't really believe in any of those things, but you know, when life gets a little sucky, you will look for whatever explanation that you know you can find. I feel like you all are sufficiently caught up now. We're on the same page. So let's move towards the actual favorites. I'm going to start with the beauty first, and I'm going to start from the head and talk about a hair care product that I have really enjoyed, which is this L'Oreal Hyaluron Pure Purifying Shampoo. So L'Oreal used to have another purifying shampoo that was clay based, and I really liked that one as well. It had this light blue packaging. They discontinued it and they came up with this one. So I think I bought this bottle like almost exactly a year ago, maybe around Feb or March of 2025. It has been my most used shampoo in the last year, but somehow I'm still on my first bottle and it's still so high. That would not be possible, of course. It's just that once I finished the bottle and I knew I liked it, I actually bought this really large bottle. And so now every time this finishes, I just refill it with this. And this is the perfect system. I feel like I've cracked something, you know. Buy the small bottle, try it out. If you like it, just buy one of these. They are also really annoying to store in the bathroom. So then just refill the bottle, and it's very economical as well. So this is a purifying shampoo, and it's great for greasy scalps, which is what I tend to have, especially since I colored my hair a couple times last year. So my lengths and all are on the drier side. Like naturally wavy curly hair is drier, and then the colorings made it worse, but then the scalp gets greasy. So this really does extend the time between washes for me, because I do not like washing my hair very often, but then when my scalp feels greasy, then I don't really feel like a human. I feel like there are like demons whispering in my ears. Not really, but you'll probably know what I mean. So it's a great shampoo. It works better than a purifying shampoo that I spent 2,000 rupees for, that I don't want to talk about right now. I might talk about it someday. This is just a great product, and if you have greasy scalp, just buy this. We're going into summer. It's gonna get worse. Just buy this. So I had this small. So this is something that I had in my favorites tray at the start of the video, and then I forgot to talk about it, but it's a couple days later. I'm heading out on a run. So let's chat about this body sunscreen from Nivea. Because now that I do walks and running and all of that, I have the most sun exposure that I've had in like a couple decades. And I've gotten solidly tanned, which I don't mind at all. But that much sun exposure also means damage from like UV rays and all of that. And I am very religious with like my face sunscreen, but I'm really lazy to apply it for my body also. And that's where this comes in, because it's a spray, but it's non-aerosol. It's like a nice fine mist. So easy to apply. I can just get done with like applying this in 2 minutes, and it actually gives my body a little glow, which I love, because who wants to be ashy? This is one of those products that when I started using and loved it, I already have like 2 or 3 backups. Because if it's ever discontinued, I know that I still want to have access to it. And now on to makeup. Here's another product that I tried randomly last year that I really got into. It is the Tier Mask Fit Cushion Foundation. This is the mini size, but this is actually my second one, because I fully finished up the first one and I'm really proud of it. And I don't wear makeup very often, just 1 or 2 times a week. So I think the mini size is so great for that, because you don't want it to dry out. If you wear makeup every day, like, or you wear it to work, then I think the larger size would be more economical. When this product first started going viral, I was very skeptical, because everyone was just like, oh, this viral Korean cushion. It wasn't organically viral. It felt like it was like manufactured virality. And then sometimes when I hear so much about a particular product, it just really gets on my nerves, and I'm like, I don't want to try this. So I waited months to try it, and then I couldn't figure out which shade would be mine. So I actually bought the shade samplers, and I matched with 31N French beige, and it was like pretty perfect for me then. But then I started running, and I have a lot more sun exposure now, and I'm actually a lot more tanned. When I finished French beige 31N, I moved up 1 shade to 33N macchiato. So they also have warm and cool, which is denoted by the letter at the end of the number. But I know I have a neutral olive skin tone, which is why I stick to the N shades. N means neutral. So I went from 31N to 33N. This is just a lazy girl's dream product. It doesn't feel cakey on my face. It doesn't look cakey. It's so easy to apply, and it looks very skin-like. If you get a good shade, it gives really nice coverage, like the higher end of medium. It just blends with your skin. And I have a fair amount of like blemishes, mostly black spots on my face from post-acne hyperpigmentation. Like if I get bad acne or pimple, whatever, I pick at it and make it really bad. And then it leaves a big black scar that takes time to disappear. And I don't really bother with concealer or anything. I just put whatever base product. And while the black spots do not disappear, they very much lighten. It's great for just the basic under eye brightening, and it works to hide the discoloration around my mouth, which is again something that I have naturally. A lot of brown girls have this naturally. This has been like a one and done base product for me, and I'm here to tell you that, at least from my point of view, this is actually worth all of the hype. I wish I tried it sooner, but now that I have tried it, all of my other base products are thoroughly neglected. I wear this one every time. My next beauty favorite is something that has really surprised me also, because I've never been a setting spray girly. I do have oily skin, so I used to usually set with a little bit of powder. I have some fantastic powders that don't look too powdery. But over the last year, I don't know if it is like naturally like trends change in the way I do my makeup changes, or maybe it's that like I'm getting older. I am almost 34 now, so my skin also is slightly changing, getting a little bit more mature. I just don't like the way that powder-based products look on my face at all. I just prefer a more like satin dewy look, but I still need a little help to set all of my makeup in place. And that's where this L'Oreal setting spray has come in, the 3-second setting mist that defies transfer for up to 36 hours apparently. It is an aerosol spray, but it does leave like a very fine mist. I'm just going to show y'all. I already have it on, but I can put a little more on. Try to do it in a well-ventilated area. If you have a balcony, just do it in front of a window. I have an open window here. it leaves my skin very fresh looking, and it does actually make the makeup quite transfer proof. I have also been using this every time I put on makeup, because Lord knows I do not reapply my makeup, maybe just a lip product, but I put it on and then I just do not look at myself in the mirror the entire day, which is not a good habit, but that's just how I am. I have used up quite a lot of it. I think I'm gonna repurchase this as soon as it gets over. I know that Tirtir also has like a setting spray, the same guys who made this. But now that I've tried this and I like it, I think I'm just gonna stick to it. This used to be a thing that I say in every video, but I don't want these favorites to be like a one-way conversation ever. I am sharing with you things that I've discovered and I like, but I would love to hear at any point things that you've discovered and you like as well. You know, feel free to leave a comment and let me know if it's something related to something I've shared or just about anything. I find a lot of cool stuff through you guys as well. Even though I don't wear much makeup nowadays, my love for lip products is still undying. So I have 3 to share with you all over here. One of these, I don't know if I've talked about this in a favorites video before, but if so, I'm just going to talk about it again. It's my beloved Clinique Almost lipstick in the shade Black Honey. This is kind of one of those cult products that everybody talks about. One of those rare universal lip products that also works for like darker skin girlies. Because I grew up with people talking about like universal lip products like MAC Meher and Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk, even the OG one, that only just work for very light skinned people and look terrible on people with my skin tone. This is one of those products that really does work for everybody, but I dare say like if you're medium skin tone, darker skin tone, it looks better on us than it does on light skinned people. It looks more natural almost, although everyone's goal might not be natural, but it looks so great. It is a sheer like lip balmy lipstick. Let me just do a quick swatch. So you can wear it sheer or build it up. And it's just so pretty and also really hydrating. I know it can be pretty expensive for one lipstick, and I have probably like 100 lip products, and I still procrastinated a lot with buying this one. I didn't want to spend more than 2,000 rupees on a single lip product. But I'm going to tell you that since I bought this, it has been my most used lip product. I have used it extremely heavily. I think I've finished off like more than half of it. This is what's remaining. I wear it fairly often. I also reapply quite a lot. It doesn't get spent quickly. So it's a really nice lip product. If you've been thinking about it and the money is not going to be like a very big pinch for you, this is worth getting, especially like for regular people, because I think as a creator who also dabbles in beauty, I definitely have an excessive amount of lip products because as part of my job, like testing, talking about different lip products. But most normal people do not have these many products and they do not need these many products. If you are curating those few makeup products that work for you, I think that this should be one of them and it's worth the investment. And the next product I have is one of these like newer lip launches from NYX. It's called the Lip IV and it's available in a bunch of shades, but this one is called Mauve and Moist. This is what it looks like. It's like a deep mauvey grape. So if you follow beauty reviews, you've definitely already seen this because so many people have talked about it. But if you don't, it's a pretty cool product and it's kind of unique because when you put it on, it's a very pigmented, high shine, glossy product. Almost gives you that vinyl-like finish. And this is not one of those like long-wearing, transfer-proof products, not in the conventional sense, because I always hate the way those feel. Like sure, you're going to wear them for like 36 hours and all, but I can always feel those on my lips. I can always feel them. I don't know, I thought it was just me. And it turns out a lot of people feel that, but not everybody, because I'm neurodivergent. So I have sensory issues around things like clothes and makeup and all of that. So I cannot wear those like really long wearing lipsticks. And I can't wear a lot of base products also because I feel them on my face the entire time they're there. But this one feels really comfortable. So you can wear it as is, dark like this, or when you wipe it off, it leaves behind quite a stain. I think I wiped too hard, but on the lips, it leaves a stain. It's part of the lip combo I built today as the base. I applied it, I wiped it off, and then I layered the next product I'm going to show you all on top. But yeah, it's pretty cool and I'm thinking of maybe getting it in like one more shade. The third lip product I have is from Korean brand Fui. It's their 3D color changing gloss in the shade Scene Black. And you might be thinking, black gloss? That's a little goth of you, Magali. But as you can see, it's not a conventional black. It's a sheer black, and if I were to be honest, I would say it's more of like a blackberry or a blackcurrant. Like it has black, gray and dark cool purple tones in it. So it's not meant to just be like an edgy color, but it's meant to be part of lip combos. You can use this on top of any lip product that you have that might be too light. It enhances the color, but also it deepens it, and that's what it's meant to do. And I actually like wearing this also just on my lips because it increases the glossiness and pigmentation of my lips in a cool way. I don't know how to describe it, but I really like it. I sometimes buy products like this which are just gimmicky because my ADHD likes novelty. But I have actually reached for this a lot. And that has always been for me a testament that I like this product. When I like it, I ignore everything else. Since I started using this, I've reached for it a lot. And it's what I'm wearing right now on top of the NYX Lip Ivy. Let's do another quick layer maybe. It smells so nice also. Just love that in a lip product. What do we think? I think I might be uncomfortably close to the camera. Like, this is how far I was from the lens. Okay, this is better now. And now for my final makeup product. This is actually also a lip product, but I like using it on my cheeks because it's a lip and cheek tint. This is from Maybelline. It's their Teddy tint in the shade Mascara Tear. This is what it looks like. But when you shear it out, it doesn't really look as intense. Maybelline launched these Teddy tints a little while ago, I think maybe in 2024. I purchased one and reviewed it at the time. It is a long wearing formula. Like it stays quite a long time on your lips, especially if you don't eat. But if you eat, it will often go away. I thought the formula was okay. I don't love it on my lips, but as I said, that's like a personal issue that like I have sensory thingies. But I didn't like the shades that they launched at all. They were just too light leaning, and I think I have that beef with at least like Maybelline in India. They are really fumbling the Indian market so badly, even when they have much better, more shade inclusive ranges abroad. In India, it just seems still that they are catering to this horrible colonial beauty standard. So all of those thoughts aside, this was not a shade that was part of the original lineup, but then a few months later or a year later, they came out with a bunch of darker shades. And this is one of them, Mascara Tear. I believe it's the darkest. So I bought it to try it out. It's a really pretty shade. It looks great on your lips also, if that's your thing, but I do not wear it much on my lips. However, I've been reaching for this a lot as a blush. It looks intense, but it blends out really well. In fact, I think it goes a little too sheer. So I always need to put at least 2 layers. I put 1 layer, blend it out and put another one. The formula of it's quite comfortable. It has those like cloud lip tint feel. So yeah, this shade is really pretty. Sorry, Pony has zoomies. And I feel like with Maybelline, I'm on this constant cycle of they come out with a really shitty launch and they piss me off. And I'm like, I'm never buying Maybelline again in my life. This sucks. Do you guys remember Sun Kisser? This is the worst thing I've tried in my life. I actually did an honest negative review of it at the same time that Maybelline was running an influencer campaign where, you know, influencers were trying to say, oh, this is such a great product, this is wonderful, you can do this, you can do that. That was such a fiasco, so much so that they had to have their own marketing people leave fake positive comments on those influencer videos that they paid for. I don't know who's running the brand there, it is embarrassing. But then as I said, every now and then they'll also redeem themselves with a good product. Like this I like. These colored mascaras, the blue one that I'm wearing today and the burgundy one, love. So it's just like a little push and pull relationship that I have with Maybelline now as a beauty consumer. That concludes the beauty section of this favorites, and now we're going to switch it up with 2 or 3 other things that I want to talk about. So let's change the mood a little bit. I really love that light. Best 300 rupees that I've spent. This is the next thing I want to talk about. And I love that it actually looks like a little microphone, but it's not. This is a vibrator from the brand My Muse. It's the first time I'm talking about something like this on YouTube or like on any public platform. And it is a little intimidating to me. I don't know why. Maybe it's the society we live in, or maybe it's my own internal biases. But I also want to talk about it because this has been quite an interesting journey for me. So in the last couple of years, I think we've seen so many different homegrown brands make adult toys in India for self-love, if you know what I mean. I hate that we have to talk in euphemisms, but that's the reality, I think, about talking about these things on a public platform. Even though I know that all of my audience is adult, just like me, you still have to kind of speak about things this way. I think My Muse is one of the bigger brands making these toys in India. I remember like years ago, nobody was doing this. You could just get imported products, or you had to go abroad and purchase these. It's cool that that has changed. But I've always been resistant to try. So My Muse sent me a bunch of products in 2024, year before last now. I told them, I don't know if I want to be making content on this and all of that. And they were like, no, it's fine. Just try our stuff. There's no obligation. There's no anything. I didn't try anything for months, but then I did. And then it's like, it can change your life because it changes the way that you view pleasure. It almost changes like your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your body. And I know that I've texted several girlfriends also and been like, do you have one of these? And if you don't have one of these, you should get one of them. And even if you want to try a toy for yourself, it can be very intimidating because there are just so many different types and you're like, what do I really want? What size do I want? What type of thing would work for me? And you don't really know what will work for your body. Like, everybody is different. I know that you hear that a lot, but really everybody is different. And you got to get in there, like, and you got to try, and you don't know what you like till you try. But I find that personally, I like an external massager. Some people like internal massagers, but external really does the trick for me. So those don't need to be big. They just need to vibrate. The vibrating function is where it's at. So this particular one is called Pop. It is silicone covered. It has 10 speeds. It's also incredibly silent. So every time you press the button, it changes the speed and the vibrating pattern. So there are 10 of them. So this has been like a really fun addition in my life. And another one of those things that I'm like, oh, why did I wait until my 30s to try this? Or why did I think this wouldn't work for me? I don't know, but better late than never. They have so many toys and they keep releasing new toys. So if you go into the website, you'll see like for men, for women. And if you go to the for women section, you will then see whether like external one, internal one, that sort of thing. They also have like app controlled massagers that they market to couples, which if that's what you're into as a couple, perfectly fine. I feel that that's a little gimmicky, but different strokes for different folks. This is not at all sponsored, by the way, but I do have a code with My Muse. So they have already some offers running for Valentine's Day and such, but my code will give you an additional discount. And now we move on to our last couple of things. Let me change up the mood once again. Also, it's too hot to have my hair down. This is so much better. The last two things that I have to share with you all are things that I am consuming. Here's both of them. So we're going to talk about this first. This is the ʟᴠ chili sauce with pork and fermented soybean. I don't know how many of y'all used to follow just my chill at home vlogs on my vlog channel during the pandemic. Maybe not that many of y'all, but I know that there was like a dedicated group of people that enjoyed that, and I enjoyed making them as well. So that's where I first started talking about ʟᴠ because it's a Chinese brand that went very viral in the pandemic. Like, I also discovered it online only, and then I got many messages saying that you all discovered it through me. So I think they are like the main brand that kicked off the chili crisp and chili oil craze that is such a big thing in India. Now every Indian brand is making their own chili oil and chili crisp. But I will say that I believe like Lauganma cannot be surpassed. And they do have veg chili oils as well if you don't eat pork, because I know not everybody eats pork. But if you do eat pork, then wait for it. If you're looking for like the classic options, the chili crisp is so good. It's amazing. And then the fermented soybean version is also really good. So at that time, there were just few options available in India. And then last year, I saw that there was a pork option available, and it also had fermented soybean that I know I actually enjoy. So I purchased it. And the first 3 or 4 times that I ate it, I was like, this is disgusting. I don't like this at all. I don't like the flavor. So I was really regretting my purchase. But it's so odd, you guys. I just kept at it for a little while, and the flavor really grew on me, and I love this so much. This is my second bottle. Because when I finished my first one, I took a little break so that I would really enjoy the second one. But I opened this one, I don't know, 4 days ago. I eat it every day with my morning eggs. I fry my 2 sunny side up eggs in this. Like I put a tablespoon into my pan and fry them. And then I just use it as a topper for almost any dish. I put them on momos. I made like stir-fried cabbages. I put it on stir-fried cabbage. It's not at all spicy, but the fermented soybean gives like a really rich umami, almost funky flavor, which, as I said, it's like a bit of an acquired taste. I think that I will keep repurchasing this for the rest of my life. It's that good. And my final favorite for the month of January is a homemade bottle of what I like to call crunchy water. It's just chia seeds and water, you guys. Like, that's the whole thing. But I do have to tell you all why I'm drinking this. I think this is important, so please stay with me. I am going to be discussing some basic medical stuff. I am not a medical professional, and I'm just telling you about myself and my body in hopes that it'll be useful for you in some way. So I think since like I've turned 30 and stuff, I have started taking my health a little bit more seriously. And I think that's something that everybody should do, honestly, because if you're lucky enough that you don't have any chronic conditions, you can cruise by your 20s without really paying too much attention to your health. But your 30s are when, like, if you live a bad lifestyle, it'll catch up with you towards the end. It'll catch up with you towards your 40s. That's when you really start taking stock of things. And if you're not careful, that's where you will have issues either like in your 30s itself or later on. So one thing that I do for my health every year is that I get a whole panel of like all of the blood tests and like, you know, urine tests, all that like basic health checkup done. The results are quite easy to interpret even if you are not a medical professional, because they will show you like for each thing what your values need to be, and they will highlight if anything is abnormal or your values are outside of like that. And you can also just take those reports and go to a doctor and have that doctor interpret it for you if that's a problem. So that's something that I do every year, and I'm especially nervous about my diabetes risk because I have family history of diabetes, and I've had people in my family also develop diabetes at the age that I am now. So it's a little scary. And the thing with diabetes is that there's a pre-diabetes stage, which can often be reversed. But then when you go to full-blown diabetes, it is very difficult to reverse it. But at the pre-diabetic stage, you have almost no signs and symptoms. So unless you get tested, you don't know if you are pre-diabetic. So the 2 tests that I definitely pay attention to every year are my glycosylated hemoglobin test, which is also known as the HbA1c, I believe. And that is the test that will show you like how your sugar levels have been over the past few months. And if you're pre-diabetic, that test will catch it. And then I also get lipid profile done, which is like all of your cholesterol. There are quite a few different values there that are quite confusing to me also. You have like so many different types of cholesterol One is good cholesterol, one is bad cholesterol. You have your triglycerides and your HDL and your LDL. Some of them you want to be low, but they're actually high. And some of them you want them to be high and they're actually low. So I've been lucky that I do not have any diabetes risk now, but my lipid profiles have not been so good. And this is one of those things like cholesterol. You often associate it with being overweight, and I'm not overweight, I'm underweight. But literally anyone can have them. And I don't think that I have a bad diet, and I'm pretty active, and I still do not get great results on my lipid profiles. Over the last 3 times that I've gotten them checked, every time the values have been just ever so slightly worse. So my current mission for now is to get my lipid values within the normal ranges. I have actually managed to improve my good cholesterol ever so slightly in the last few months. And I attribute that to the running, because aerobic activity like running or any other form of cardio is something that's supposed to help improve that. But the other values have not been great. I am also actively trying to eat more. So I am not making any big changes in my diet. I'm not removing anything from my diet at this point. But one thing that I'm trying to add into my diet is more fiber, because I think that there's been so much protein propaganda over the last few years. And that's maybe a good thing, because we're all protein deficient, and you need protein if you want muscle growth, but you also need protein for brain functioning and so many other things. Protein is great. But also people and doctors have been talking about how fiber is also very important. And for a lot of us, we don't really get that fiber in our diet either. And that can cause so many complications with like cholesterol or intestinal issues, all of that. This is one change that I've been making, which is the crunchy water. A teaspoon of chia seeds in this jar. Hopefully twice a day. I've just started, so I do it once a day, but I want to do this twice. Like a whole jar full, 1 teaspoon of chia seeds, finish it off, and then have another one. And it's great also because it's going to improve your poops if you do this regularly. Fiber intake is more complicated now because there are 2 different types of fibers and there are so many different sources. It's all quite confusing, but chia seeds apparently also have omega-3s or something like that. I thought you could only get omega-3s, fish oil and like animal sources, but chia seeds and flax seeds also have something similar. So I want to start like making breakfast bowls with like chia seeds in them, like overnight breakfast bowls with oats and chia seeds. And I haven't gotten around to that. But until then, this is one way that I'm increasing my fiber consumption. This is me telling you all humbly that if you have not gotten your basic health checkup in the last year or year and a half and you are above 30, please get everything checked and see if there are any like areas that you need to start making changes. I know with most of us, we do not go and get those checkups until something is wrong or something is bothering us, and that's just the problem. You have to be regular with checking everything. Once a year is good enough for me because it'll often show you areas that you need to improve on before any problems arise. I finished my first bottle. It's before 3 p.m. so I think I can get started with making my second bottle. That was everything for my January favorites. This felt so good to do. I hope you guys are doing well. Please talk to me in the comments. I would love that. And I'm going to make a very, very good faith effort to do this kind of thing more regularly. I'm not making tall promises and then breaking those promises, but I want to be back. I'm so happy to be back. See ya.